that's another thing I wanted to say too. Like these, I'm not gonna call them freaks, but these people, they like, they try to get around you, and then the minute you show any attention towards it, like you start looking like, what the fuck are they doing? They be so like they just got paid. The minute you show any attention towards them, they feel like they act like they just got paid. Like they at the pay, getting their check and like, yeah, I got some more than I thought I had. But it's you sitting there like, you try and ask them a question like, do you know me? Are you trying to get my attention? The minute you show them any attention, they act weird as fuck. Like, where are they from? Where do you act like this at? Like, they don't have any type of personality at all. Is this normal? Like, for people these days, because you stay on the internet so much, you don't have enough personality to even talk to people? But they look like all they're trying to do is purposely aggravate other people here in Cardinal Valley in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm just curious if anybody has seen this little routine before, or has been present for the whatever this is. But yeah, please inform me and send me into my messages of exactly what you think's going on here in Cardinal Valley in Lexington. It got weird, man. 10 years, everything was fine, right? Everything was fine. I own a small business, and this nice lady here, she worked at the glass plant on Loudon Avenue, retired from there, GE. Y'all remember when that was there? And Miss Effie, and she got sick from COVID and passed away. And then this nice lady over here, see which house? Right here, this house. Sweetest, what was her name? Jeannie. I called her Jeannie because she was like a genie, and she was cool to talk to you all the time, and she's a real nice lady. The most fucked up shit is Ernie. Ernie lived right here. Oh no, hold on. Look, right there in the house over here. And he died like that. But listen, there was 3 dudes that supposedly came and picked him up because his dad was a part of it and took him to the lodge. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They was out here when Ernie was found, because I gave the police the ladder to get up in the window and find Ernie, because he hadn't been out of the house in a few days. Ernie was legally blind. He was disabled. And so they found him, and before the coroner came and got him out of the house, those 3 dudes was in the driveway showing the police some shit on their phone, talking about, that house is ours. He signed that house over to the lodge. That house belongs to the lodge. I'm like, he's still in the house. His body ain't even cold yet. Like, but we had it's a good spot, man. And when these 3 people all passed away, unfortunately, my good neighbors, well, then you had people, so these are single family homes, and an LLC owns that, an LLC owns that, and an LLC owns that. So now you got people that want to convert, and I'm right in the middle of it. They want to convert your neighborhood into short-term rentals. Is this gentrification? Is this how they operate? They get a few houses in a neighborhood, and then they go make the neighborhood so uncomfortable, and just get their little minions in there and give them free rent so they fuck up your neighborhood, so you'll want to move out your own neighborhood. Instead of us policing this and setting up regulations as a city, as a state, as a federal government to police this shit. And this is not coming from the people in these homes that are getting this free rent or whatever it may be. It's coming from the real estate investors that are encouraging this, putting them up to this, and have designed this. And it is disgusting, un-American bullshit. Cutting your muffler off your car to drive around children. Playing a stereo around children to disturb children, to in turn disturb their parents. You're a piece of shit. And I hope you get your comeuppance. But it doesn't make me mad. They want to antagonize you into reacting. It's reactionary shit. So they're going to try to pick until they can get you in a spot and either gun you probably pow you, right? Or better yet, take a video of you and defame you, put you on the internet, get you arrested, some shit like that. Everything they're doing is some cowardly tactics that I don't know where they came up with the shit at. And then I talk to people and they like, Gary, that's just big city shit. And I'm like, no, it's not. This is not big city stuff. There's no, listen, I went through the 80s and I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I was born in 79. And nowhere in our country did people do this. This is not anything to do with one location. It's to do with an industry. An industry that has came up with this. People that own homes and people that live in cities and this and that, they don't come up with shit like this. This is investors, lawyers, and people like that come up with shit like this. This ain't no normal shit. This is a planned, coordinated type of thing. So that they can make more millions and billions than they already have right now. And this is what people are talking about when they want people to de-invest in single-family homes. This is the shit they're talking about. Because when you get big money in any type of corporation, any type of market, they use everything they have. They'll use the whole floor of security team. They'll use their money for influence downtown, any state capital. They'll use it. That's what these big conglomerates do. They've done this in other sectors. So doing it in the housing market, they're gonna run the same routine. Just in, it might be a little different, but they just using their power and their wealth to manipulate things to allow them to get more money that they don't even need. But this is the difference. When you go you start doing that to single family homes, you are destroying communities. You're destroying the whole community. It's not one side of town they doing this on. And you might be like, oh, the rich side's okay. Listen, if you don't have enough sense to understand you live in a community as a whole, then something's wrong inside your mind. It's not just about your side of town and your church and your school. Your whole community affects your quality of life. Okay? It does, whether you want it to or not. And those people vote, whether you want them to or not. But when you start doing this shit right here, you're destroying your own spot. Truth's the truth, man. If it upsets you, then do something about it, though. But I get a lot of weird shit, like, so everything I'm telling you right now is people in my neighborhood generally. Okay, but every time I step out of my house, I'll get like these cars circling around me. All of them with tinted windows, you can't see who's inside, because the reason why is because a lot of times it's women or old people or people that nobody's going to be worried about. So they're trying to use their car as like an intimidation type of thing. Like, oh, we're all around you, da-da-da. But who are you, though? So I went and found out who they were. I creeped through my neighborhood. I'm like, who are these motherfuckers? And I rolled up on them. Hey, yo, you know me? No, I don't know you. Well, you keep circling around me, though. Your work truck keeps circling around me like you know me, like you're trying to get my attention. Nah, man, I ain't got no problem. And then you drive too, and you see one of the cars delivering groceries. Delivery boys, delivery people. And then you drive again, and you see a mother with 2 or 3 kids getting out to go grocery shopping. And you start thinking to yourself, what the fuck is this? Is this like an HOA gone wrong? A neighborhood associate? What was that shit that killed Trayvon community watch, community policing type of shit, where they got that little, remember that dude that pow Trayvon for a bag of Skittles? And props to the young man for fighting the dude back. And what a coward would run up on a kid like that anyway. But that's the type of shit you got out here, though. That's the type of people you dealing with when you don't police these neighborhood associations and you don't set firm guidelines from the administration downtown. You start getting this we think we powerful and shit, because it's like an organized gang. They turn into a quasi street gang. If you can believe that shit or not. If you think a whole bunch of pregnant people and moms and geriatric people in diapers can be that, but that's what they're trying to be, though. They want to be intimidating. They want to get your attention, to keep you focused, and just to keep you from enjoying yourself in your own neighborhood. They're trying to make your neighborhood fucked up so you'll leave. And I started getting people saying, I'm saying, yo, man, what's up? How you doing? I don't live over there. I live over here. I didn't even ask them that. I'm like, I ain't even asked you nothing like that. Why you say that shit? And it was just random people, like, in my industry, like a glass company person that works for a glass company. I'm not going to name the glass company. It was like, I don't live over there. I live over there. And I don't live over there. I live in Winchester. And I kept hearing this from professionals that are in my a part of my industry, because I'm in remodeling construction. I don't do new shit. I work on old stuff, like giving you a kitchen, bathroom, stuff like that. And I start seeing people like, yeah, I don't live over, I live over. I'm like, why do they keep saying this shit to me? And it took me a second to catch on to it. I'm like, oh, okay, I see. So this is coordinated to the point that everything going on around my house is coordination. And then to the point it's seeped out into the business community. Is this because I'm a Democrat that owns a small business in the construction industry? And y'all trying to tell me what? That I ain't in America anymore? I'm not an American. I'm not in America, the home of the free and the brave. Right? Y'all trying to torturously impede my business or my person to where I can't conduct business. I mean, ask yourself that. If people are saying this to you and that you were getting this reaction every time you came out or went to the store or wherever, you started getting a bunch of old people following you around with the 4-letter license plates. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? Y'all think y'all gonna run me out of my own shit? Like, first of all, how would you ever get enough nerve to think you're gonna do this to anybody in America? Because the action of doing it is so un-American. Like, we're in fascist Germany. You'll get that all the time too. Loud mufflers. But it's it's my whole neighborhood. Even though I've been here for 10 calendars, this has only been going on for about 2 calendars. Now think about what happened 2 calendars ago, and think about what I'm saying to you. I'm a small business owner, construction industry. I've lived in my neighborhood for 10 years. For the last 2 years, there has been this, what do you call this? A political attack? That's a nice truck right there. I got one kind of like that down there, but it ain't fixed up like his. He got a nice truck though. I wish mine was fixed like his. He's a nice gentleman, lives at the end of the street. But what was I saying? Oh. So, for the last 2 years, whatever this is, so my neighbors started acting funny and weird and strange after these LLCs moved in next to him. I started seeing a bunch of, like, every time I seen somebody move, I would see a for rent sign. And it would be a certain real estate company. And I'm like, damn, ain't nobody want to live over here no more? Like, gonna buy the home? Like, ain't nobody buying the home? Well, it's not that nobody wants to buy the home. It's that every single home that opens up, you have a real estate company buying it immediately. They're waiting to snatch this up. Boom, 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 boom. There's no room for people to own a home because these big companies, these conglomerates, they are so fast to buy this. Boom, 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 boom. Within a day of somebody putting a house, before it even goes on market, they're on it. And I'm like, how in the hell it didn't even go for sale. Nobody even looked at it. Because it's a concerted effort by people in your neighborhood, transplants, that probably, I'm allegedly saying, these large companies have transplanted in here and they get certain benefits like free rent, right? To sit and just make everything as nasty as possible, to make as many people as possible to move out of your neighborhood so they can buy more property. And these are the tactics, the street level tactics of this whole industry. And you wonder why you even have the Republicans stating, hey, we need to get this shit under control. Passing bills to get this. You don't need to get it under control. You need to make a law where it doesn't exist, where it's not possible for corporations to buy single family properties. You understand? That's the only way you get them out of this. And if you want to put a number on it, put a number like 20 houses. 20 houses is a big investment. Ask yourself, if I own 20 houses, how rich would I be? Yeah, that's the answer, right? Now, some of these companies own 30,000 houses, 10,000 houses, hundreds of thousands, and they want to buy the whole place. But the tactics are not fair and square, y'all. Think about you in your house like this, trying to enjoy your life, your family, live your life, and you got a corporation that wants you out of here, and they've put in a bunch of transplants around you to make your neighborhood hostile to living a decent life. That, man, since when do we put up with this shit? And Lexington used to be a lot better of a city until here he comes back. There he is again, I told you. And that dude, he'll drive up and down the road a million times at night during the day, he's trying to upset my children with his muffler. And that's what they'll do. They'll take and make noise back here, and they'll drive these speaker sounds, infrasound, boom. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That shit you can feel, but you can't hear. Like this. And then in the middle of that, they try to do the loud modified vehicles. It's against the law to modify your vehicle in Kentucky too. But you start seeing the tinted windows, the tactics. That's what we dealing with, trying to live a decent life in America now. In Kentucky, Lexington.